WRAL has team coverage of Decision 2024 with President Biden addressing the country about his decision to exit the presidential race, former President Trump campaigning in Charlotte today, and Vice President Kamala Harris taking to the campaign trail as the presumptive Democratic nominee. We want to begin now with President Biden, who most recently wrapped up a historic address from the Oval Office. He spoke about the difficult decision to leave the race and about the need to empower a new generation of leaders, which led to his support of Vice President Harris. WRAL's Brian Schrader in the live center for us. You watched the address. Tell us, what were the highlights for you, Brian?
Well, in his words, President Biden said the defense of democracy is more important than any title. In that relatively short 10-minute address from the Oval Office, President Biden looked back at what he says are the major accomplishments of his time in office and also pledged his full support to Vice President Kamala Harris.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. But there's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
And President Biden talked about what he wants to do in his remaining 6 months in office. He says he wants to bring an end to the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. Also, he wants to boost government support for looking for cures for cancer. And he wants to address climate change, push for Supreme Court reform as well. Now, let's talk about what happened after that speech. This is video from a White House staffer posted on X of President and Mrs. Biden coming out to the Rose Garden where he addressed White House staffers. He talked about the importance of getting behind the Harris campaign for the fall, and ice cream, one of his favorite treats, was served there after that speech. Also, Mrs. Biden sent this note on X saying, "Thank you for the trust you put in Joe. Now it's time to put that trust in Kamala."